Greetings, everyone. My name is John Moale of Apple English Network in Fukui Prefecture, Fukui City. I wanted to make a presentation to everyone about how to create your own app. Now, even if you don't have any computing experience or have no idea how to get started, I'm hoping that this presentation will point you in the right direction. And apps in general are kind of, on their way out, if you want to say there's changing technologies all the time, but having at least a very simple app out there on the app stores can at least give a little bit more credibility to your establishment and just grow your brand as well. I wanted to get started and tell you my inspiration on how I created my own app. So other creators, such here in Japan, the Ego Phonics creator, Happy Valley, and of course the other apps that you see on the screen here. Back in 2016, I believe, I went to the Kyoto ETJ conference and was able to talk to these individuals on how they created their app just to get some ideas. And based on their information and what information I could find online, I was able to cobble together my own idea of what kind of app I wanted to make. So for my first app, I wanted to create a phonics app. And to do that, I had to kind of look at my curriculum and how I could integrate the app to the curriculum that I had already established. Sure, you could make a few changes for your curriculum to meet the needs of getting students to use your app, but the app can be anything you want it to be, as long as you have the budget and the goal, the know-how of how you want to get there. So a little bit about myself. I am manager and co-owner of Apple English Network. My wife and I work together. So the actual school itself started in 2004, and we purchased it in 2015. The first app, I was able to get everything out to the both Google Store and the Apple iPhone Store in 2017. And then I did a follow-up app for 2019. All right, so obviously you want to know how to get your app up online. So to do that, we have a lot of steps to cover. But first and foremost, who are you making this app for? So if you're making it for children, you kind of have to know your audience. You have to have your Withitness. So look at the screen and let's test your Withitness. For children's ages 3 to about 5, at least for boys, they're going to be into the kind of characters that you see here on the screen. So if you can recognize all 4 of these characters or these 4 pictures, you are awesome. If you don't, you need to work a little bit more on your knowing your customer there. And this mostly game pictures here. If you know your students, maybe from ages 6 is a little early to students be playing games, but yeah, from anywhere from 6 to teenage years, if you recognize what you see on the screen, then you're good. For girls, 3 to maybe 6, maybe 5, before they go to elementary school, if you can recognize these 3 characters, these 3 pictures on the screen, then you're with it. And last, for maybe boys and girls, ages 5 to teenage. If you recognize these 3 characters as well, then you are with it. Okay, so with that out of the way, the road to making your first app. Why do you want to do it? Is it for your personal reason or is it for company reason? Whichever reason that you do, as long as you have motivation to put out the final product, then you're good. But motivation and getting there is the key. So, what kind of challenges are you going to experience? Well, you have to know, who do you want to make this for? Where do you want to publish it? What is it going to look like? Who is your target audience? What is your estimated schedule of when you want to put it out? And of course, why do you want to do it? And for my personal goal was to at least try make a app to help with pronunciation. So then I made a pronunciation app. So for the framework of getting it all together, you have a lot of steps to take. So you want to have an app that's fun. So that's going to be edutainment. That's the new thing about teaching nowadays with, STEM toys that are out, and then with all the educational apps, it's all about making it fun, learning and fun. What kind of structure do you have? What kind of games do you want? How do you want your menu to look? What kind of programming, how involved do you want to be? And do you want to leave it up to somebody else? Music, surprisingly, you can find a lot of royalty-free music at your disposal, so you don't have to do anything yourself. Voice work, you can hire a professional or you can do it yourself. I mean, even with this presentation that I'm doing right now, I'm recording it off of my iPhone with the headphone attached microphone piece. So, you can do it as professional as you want, or you could do it as cheap as you want, however your budget is. Pictures, same thing. You can find a whole bunch of free pictures, or if you want to do it in-house, then go ahead. And then registering your app, your company to the appropriate app stores, and updating. That will be pretty frequent on your part to make sure that the Google Store or the Apple Store, if they ask you to update your app to the current technologies, that you got to keep on that probably every year or once every 2 years. Okay, to get started, where can you get help? Well, for me, I went to Upwork and contacted 2 programmers to help me out. Technically, there's one, as long as you choose one programming language, if you know what programming language you want to use, that will help narrow down which programmer that you need, and then you can talk about prices from there. But yes, for finding a programmer, you can go to Upwork or Freelancer. For voice work, you can go to Voice123 or Fiverr. Fiverr is a multi-source website that you can find anybody to help you with almost anything, and the workers bid for your price. Same with Upwork and Freelancer. Pixabay and FreePic are your place to find free pictures. So, of course, with your budget in mind, what is it going to cost you? Well, up to the programmer, you can establish a flat rate depending on what kind of work that you want them to do. If you have a clear set goal of how you want the app to work and how you want to look, then everything should be good. But if you want to go by hourly, then it's going to be a mixed bag of who and how much is going to charge what. So far in my research, if you hire somebody from the USA, you're going to be paying a lot of money. If you hire somebody from India, you will get a pretty good deal. So, if you are budgeting, go ahead and budget the most for finding a good programmer that meets your needs. Mostly pictures and music, I think you can find for free. And then the most common part with having to deal with the app stores is Apple wants 12,000 yen every year. Android is very nice, where they only want 2,500 yen as a one-time fee, and then you don't have to worry about additional payments after that. Now, one thing you have to watch out for when you're getting your free music and your free videos is what is copyrighted. So if you can find the bottom part that says, if you find the part that you can make money off of that says it's okay, then you can go ahead and if it's all right to change the pictures or change the music, or if it's okay to make money off of it or not okay to make money off of it, you have to definitely watch out for that. So with that, be wary, look for the phrase Creative Commons commercial use, and you should be able to have the right to publish it and make money off of that. Sometimes creators are pretty picky about what happens to their pictures of their music, but you yourself, just be careful about what you find and how you want to use it. Now, jumping on to the programming part, I chose Unity because it seems to be pretty common in app games. So I started with that, and then from there, I contacted the programmers who were familiar with Unity, and Unity is pretty out there. So it's a lot of places that use it. So I think you'll find a lot of programmers willing to help you out if you choose that program in particular. C++, Java, I'm totally blanking on what that one on the left was. Python. Those are also pretty common programming languages as well. but I felt Unity was very user-friendly for both sides, both the programmer and for someone like me. So after the programmer creates the app for you, you can go through the process of publishing it yourself. But to do that, you have to go through Android Studio, which is Google's proprietary app publishing software, and then there's also Xcode, which is Apple's proprietary software. So you have to go through both of those programs to change your app to be presentable to the App Store, and then from there you can upload it to the stores. So then once you get it on the stores and you fill out all the information on the stores, you're almost ready to go. But there's still a couple more things you have to do to get there. To get to the end, you kind of have to tell the app stores how you want your app to function. Do you want it to be a completely free app? Do you want to do a paid app? Do you want to have in-app purchases, or do you want to have ad revenue? That starts a whole complicated mess on both parties if you're trying to make money. I have a sample app that's free. So, with both parties, both app stores, they say, oh, no problem. Okay, go ahead. But if you start asking for money, if you do ads, it gets tricky with how much ad revenue you can make and how much you can cash out, because if it's a game that has repetitive playability and if the user can see the ads pretty frequently, then maybe you could make some decent money. I looked at other people's situations, and unless you're up there with Candy Crush, you're not going to be making a whole bunch of money. So I did away with ad revenue. In-app purchases, that's just kind of a different ballgame, and it gets silly with the amount of rules of what you can and can't do for in-app purchases. So I didn't bother with that and just settled on paid apps. Now, that's pretty clear-cut if you want to have a paid app. If you want to do as low as $1, or there's different tiers that are set prices that you choose to sell your app for. So, you could sell it for 100 yen, or you could sell it for 1,000 yen. It's totally up to you. But the app stores are going to take a cut of about 30%, I believe. So please keep that in mind when pricing your app. If you have a clear idea of how you want to get there, definitely establish a goal before you step your foot in any of this in creating your own app. Definitely take advantage of the programmers that are out there. It definitely is a buyer's market out there, so you can choose, what kind of programmer you want. Do you want a reliable, or of course you want a reliable one. But do you want, if you go cheap, you have to be careful. So if you go cheap, you get cheap. But if you go midway, you'll get a better quality design than paying a lot of money and not being happy with your product. So anyway, hope you got a lot of information from this presentation and kind of the many steps on how to get there. Everything is, all the information is free online as far as how to get things published and get things out there. There's, for every problem that I encountered, I just Googled it and found an answer. And there's always someone either that has a YouTube video or an in-depth article explaining on how to get over the many hurdles it takes just to get to the uploaded to the store. So again, it took me about a little over a year to finalize everything, on top of the running the business and the 40-hour work weeks and all that fun stuff. So it's definitely a nice pet project and something to feel proud of when you finish. So with that, I want to leave you with these 3 words of advice. Do it if it makes you happy or makes you money. So putting this app together, it made me happy putting something out there for the world to see. And, it didn't make any money, but, it's the same as, book publishers. They publish a book. They're happy that they published a book, and it doesn't matter that, they sold 5 copies or 100 copies. That's personal satisfaction. If you're good at something, never do it for free. So it works both ways. If you're good at programming, programmers aren't going to do it for free, but same thing with our running a business. If you're good at it, don't do it for free. And yeah, just like the Withitness test that you took at the beginning there, you know, please think of the children. Please think of your audience, your target. You know, what do they like? What are they into? And the better that you are at knowing what they want and what they like, then the better the product that you can create for them. All right, guys, that's it for this. Appreciate you sitting through this presentation. And if you have any questions, I guess comment or send an email or message to me. All right, guys, thanks so much.